The address led me to a quiet bungalow on the edge of the city, nearly hidden behind 10 towering, ancient trees. As I walked up the path, I expected to feel afraid, but instead, a strange sense of peace washed over me. Before I could even knock, the door swung open. A woman stood there, her eyes kind and knowing. "Hello, Eve," she said softly. "We've been expecting you." I didn't ask how she knew my name. In this house, the air felt thick and heavy, vibrating with a familiar energy. It wasn't the jagged static of my echoes. It was a deep, resonant hum. The inside of the house was circular, with no sharp corners for shadows to hide in. Sunlight poured in from the ceiling, illuminating shelves filled with books and jars of dried herbs. I finally met him in the center of the room. Papo. He wasn't the dark shadow from my visions. He was an old man with hands that looked like gnarled wood. He looked at me with a profound empathy that made my eyes sting. "David loved you more than his own safety, Eve," he whispered. "He didn't hide from you because he was ashamed. He hid because he was a man caught between two worlds." Papo sat me down and explained the impossible. He possessed the same gift I did, but he had learned to do more than just listen to echoes. He had helped David fold his timeline, masking his psychic scent so that my gift could never read him. He was investigating shadows, Eve. Things he didn't want following him home to you, Papo explained. By staying invisible to your sight, he kept you outside of the splash zone. He stayed in the dark so you could live in the light. I felt the weight of 15 years of protection pressing down on me. My quiet place wasn't a lie. It was a sacrifice. Papo led me to a back room, his expression turning solemn. On a low table sat another set of photo albums, identical to the ones I had found in my attic. My heart hammered as I opened the first page. The photos were of a man who looked exactly like David, but everything else was wrong. The banners in the background, the shop signs, the newspapers on the tables, it was all in French. David had never traveled to France. He didn't speak the language, yet here he was, living a life I didn't recognize in a place he had never mentioned. "This isn't his past, Eve," Poppin whispered. "This is the life he was hiding from." I reached out, my trembling fingers touching the glossy surface of a photo. In it, the man, the David I knew, was smiling at someone just off camera, standing under a sign that read Rue de Wapé. The moment my skin hit the page, the room began to dissolve. The circular walls of Papo's house bled into a street of cobblestones and the smell of fresh rain and lavender. The air around me began to roar with 1,000 new echoes, French words and unfamiliar voices spinning in my head. A blinding flash of white light pulled me forward, dragging my consciousness into the paper. I wasn't just looking at the photo anymore. I was falling into it,